The man scooped up a handful of seawater, about to drink it, but the captain stopped him immediately. Drinking seawater would only make them die faster. The captain then pulled a pencil from his pocket and drew a diagram on the life jacket. He concluded that if they kept drifting with the wind, they would eventually reach the nearest island, but the wind at sea was completely uncontrollable. So the captain ordered them to take a rope from the boat. He tied one end to the bow and the other end to a life jacket, then threw the rope into the sea. This created a simple anchor. With it, they could control the direction of the raft. Then they began to pray, asking God to send rain. That night, luck finally came. They opened their mouths and drank the rainwater. When the second day arrived, they removed a spring from a gun and used pliers and cotton thread to make a fishing hook. Using a piece of cloth as bait, they tried to fish. Before long, a fish actually bit. They pulled the line with all their strength, but still couldn't lift it. The bait and the hook were lost. The three of them were disappointed, but Jack wanted to try again. He fished under the scorching sun for half a day, but not a single fish was caught. Seeing that nothing was biting, Jack pulled out his dagger and stabbed violently into the water. Suddenly, he felt that he had struck something. He thought he had stabbed the raft, but it was a shark. At last, they had food. They ate the raw meat without hesitation. Although it tasted disgusting, they carefully saved the remaining fish, but the smell of blood had already spread across the sea. A group of sharks began swimming around them. They looked around anxiously, ready for an attack at any moment. Until night fell, the sharks did not attack. Thinking it was safe, they continued drifting at sea. Soon the fish meat was gone. Jack lifted his rifle. The gun was pointed at the captain, but in reality, it was aimed at an albatross. Startled, the captain immediately jumped into the water and swam towards the bird. However, the smell of blood once again attracted the sharks. The captain swam back as fast as he could, and just as the shark's jaws were about to bite down, he managed to climb back onto the raft. After eating, their strength returned. The captain sliced open his shoe with the dagger, removed the upper part, and punched two small holes in the sole. He used the sole as a paddle. But that night, they faced a storm. Huge waves overturned the raft, and all three of them fell into the sea. The captain knew they had to flip the raft back over, or they would be left to die in the ocean. Under the captain's guidance, they finally managed to turn the raft upright and climb back on. They spent the night in fear. When they woke up the next morning, land was finally in sight.